our own mother to step aside. So what is all this? Your brother must manage you. And I know a lot of people start saying, oh, how come I don't want Jude to be our manager? Let's be very honest, guys. Before Jude came in, or before we brought Jude in as our manager, we've had several managers. One, Chioma Ugoji, she went from being a dance group manager to P Square's manager. Later on, our mom became our manager for like few months. Then, of course, you all know Bayo Desami, popularly known as Howie T. That's the guy that actually discovered us fully. He became our manager for over at least 6 years before we now brought in Jude. Now the question is, within these 3 before Jude, have we had any, has Peter and Paul ever had any fight or any issue? Because none of them would take sides. None of them took sides. At the moment where Paul was trying to convince me, and I said, I actually gave it a thought. Maybe try to give it a try. I said, okay, Paul, you want P Square back? No problem. Let's go back upstairs. I've decided to make an offer. Because he was trying to convince me. And we went upstairs where the 2 managers, including Jude, were there. And I said, so guys, Paul, you guys want P Square back? No problem. Here is what it's going to look like. I and Paul will set up a company. I and Paul will be only signatory. I and Paul will take care of every administrative when it comes to finance, signatory, everything. And I and Paul will go with 40-40. The 3 manager, which is now Jude, Shehu, and MM, will go with 20%. Jude does say he doesn't understand that if that's the case, he'd rather work for free. And I now said, gentlemen and lady, Jude now works for free. And that's how I ended that meeting. This is the P Square. Everybody think they are back. Within 4 or 5 days, me and Paul didn't see eye to eye after that incident. Until Paul now came to me. After we went to Sierra Leone, because there was a show that was booked for Mr. P today in Sierra Leone, the next day for Paul. We finally called him that we were coming together. After we went to Sierra Leone and came back, Paul now said to me, so there's nothing for Jude. I said, not about Jude. I'm not even doing P Square. Paul, it's not about Jude here. Can we just come back as brothers? Can we live life as brothers first? Let me even experience it. Let me experience living as brothers. Now everything looks like there's a competition running around everybody. I don't like it. And I said, okay, no problem. More take your second option. I said, which is my second option? Man, you should set up a company, blah, 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 blah. Unfortunately, Jude cannot take that offer. So me, I will continue. I said, no problem. We sent our lawyer, he came. Brought the document, set up. Mode of work. Everything Peter and Paul 50-50. Every decision 50-50. Sharing formula 50-50. We signed. We started up Square Root Entertainment. We started up. Now, we started doing shows, started the P Square reunion. While we are planning the P Square reunion, I overheard something that was very disturbing. Like, it was very disturbing. Proud to Paul's apology to my wife that Jude and Paul had a serious fight. Remember, we are neighbors. Yeah. And I started doing my investigation. First of all, I wanted to play ignorant, like, no need, you know. But 4, or should I say 3 individuals from Paul's camp confirmed it, that Paul and Jude actually had a fight minutes or hours before Paul came to my house to meet my wife. And this was what I discovered. That Paul claimed he borrowed Jude 90 million.